Sickle cell anemia has become an uncommunicable disease that is now increasingly worrying children and families in Kenya. In Kibra slum, the situation is no different for a mother of 5 sons, Beatrice Odero, who has been in and out of hospital struggling with her 4 sons, who were born with sickle cell disease. Beatrice narrates to us how the journey of taking care of her children has been a tough one.
My firstborn would be 26 today if he was alive. Unfortunately, I lost my firstborn the year 2016. He was a second year in the university. And before I lost my firstborn, I lost my secondborn child, who was also a boy, at 10 months. These children, of the 5, 4 of them were born with sickle cell disease.
The death of her 2 sons still remained fresh in her mind, to a point she could not hold her tears flowing down her cheeks. Odero noting that her 2 sons lost their lives in 2000 and 2016 respectively of the same sickle cell condition.
Because of the historical issue with the other 2 children, with the other 3, Jim was tested at 6 months. The secondborn was equally tested at 6 months. So Greg was tested at 6 months because the other siblings had sickle cell. So the other big challenge that I had also, after you discovered that your firstborn has sickle cell at 1 year, 2 months, and then now you have another beautiful bubbly baby, secondborn, you're thinking this one is going, you're hoping that this one will be negative. Then you go for the test, you find that that child is positive again. For a time you feel like you are dead yourself as a mother. You are not there, you're not living. You want to touch yourself and see whether truly am I living.
Gregory is a Form 2 student at Jamhuri High School, and his brother, who both needs a bone marrow transplant in the United States, which requires 64 million for both of them. But currently, the family is in dire need of 32 million Kenyan shillings to treat Gregory, whose condition has worsened.
It is not just Greg that needs this. Greg needs this more urgently, but Jim equally needs this. Because, you know, he could be calm right now, doing pretty fairly with the prevention medication, but in the long term, I'm also looking at a scenario where Jim can also benefit from bone marrow transplant, so that I can put this in my past. It's really been mourning over so many things. Every day you wake up, you're worried. You don't know what will happen to you. So we are looking for 32 million to be able to have Greg treated, done for bone marrow transplant at Johns Hopkins Hospital. This is not money that as a family we are able to raise. We are not able to raise this kind of money, and that's why we are coming out to appeal to well-wishers.
Gregory's younger brother has been identified as a suitable bone marrow donor for his brother, but the family is short of the money required since they had to sell everything in the house just to buy their medication.
For us, it has been tough. It has really drained us emotionally, and it has also affected us psychologically. It has affected our stay in school, our performance. You're staying in school, studying, knowing that in the back of your mind that all isn't well at home, that anything might pop up any time, and you might even be called upon from school to go back home to settle some of the issues that are coming.
At least 240,000 children in Africa are born each year with sickle cell disease.
Ask is that the government would look at, you know, non-communicable diseases more seriously, and do a little more than what they are doing to alleviate suffering. But also there needs to be a very strong psychosocial support system that should anchor families families where members have sickle cell and any other chronic disease, because it's really emotionally draining if you live alone, the financial bit, emotionally draining, socially draining. There are a lot of things. There are many things, stigma and all that kind of thing, particularly for those who really have little understanding about it.
This disease is common across Kenya, affecting 18 counties, with high disease burden pockets in the western Nyanza and coastal region.
And that's why we are coming out to appeal to well-wishers to be able to come in, give us a hand, so that we can turn around my story as a mother, but also Greg's story. He has a dream as a person. He would like to be a scientist.
For me, as Greg's brother, all I can do to help him is by donating my bone marrow, so that he can experience the fullness of a healthy life. And we urge you that you may help us by raising funds so that it can be made possible.
Sickle cell anemia is a form of the inherited blood disorder. Sickle cell anemia changes your red blood cells shape, turning around flexible disc into stiff and sticky sickle cells that blocks blood flow. Thanks to early detection and new treatments, about half of all children and people who have sickle cell anemia live up to their 50s. Now, just like Greg in Kibra, 14,000 children are born with sickle cell anemia in Kenya. According to Ministry of Health statistics, they say that 50 to 90% of children who are not diagnosed for sickle cell anemia, they don't see their 5th birthday. For Ebru TV, I'm Odero Francis.